Hello dear friends, I am Lavanya and I am back with lecture 8 on cell, the fundamental unit of life for class 9th. Today we'll start the lecture on a very positive note, and the quote that I want to share with you all today is, change is inevitable and the disruption it causes brings both inconvenience and opportunities. I hope that this thought will enlighten your day. The topics that we are going to discuss today are cell organelles, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, lysosomes. So let us quickly begin the session. So here comes the first slide before all of you. The first slide says cell organelles. We have previously discussed in the video that cell organelles are some microscopic structures that have characteristic structure, form and function. On the basis of number of membranes, cell organelles are divided into three types: double membrane bound, single membrane bound and membraneless structures. Double membrane bound are mitochondria and plastids. If you remember, in the previous lectures we have discussed all of this through a video. Single membrane bound are most of the organelles like Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, etc. And membraneless structures are ribosomes, if you remember. I would recommend all of you to revisit the lecture, the last lecture, in which we have seen a very beautiful video on cell organelles for more clarity. Here's the next slide. It says endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a complex network of tubules, vesicles and membrane bound channels. Again, I repeat, endoplasmic reticulum is a complex network of membrane bound channels, vesicles and tubules. As discussed previously, endoplasmic reticulum is absent in prokaryotes and mammalian RBCs. It is only and only present in eukaryotes. Now, types of endoplasmic reticulum. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. पहला क्या था? Rough endoplasmic reticulum, that we call RER in short. Because of presence of ribosomes, it is called rough endoplasmic reticulum. A 2-star question, quickly mark a 2-star. Absence of ribosome indicates smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It is important for lipid synthesis, and since ribosomes are present in rough endoplasmic reticulum, the use is protein synthesis. Next comes a very important point, that is membrane biogenesis. अभी membrane biogenesis क्या होता है? Membrane biogenesis is the repair of plasma membrane. जब हम synthesis करते हैं plasma membrane की, जब कहीं से वो break off हो जाती है तो हम उसका repair करते हैं, we need proteins and lipids. As already discussed in the previous videos, plasma membrane is made up of, remember, lipids and protein. It consists of bilayer of lipids. तो अगर वो कहीं से रिपेयर करनी हो, वो ब्रेक ऑफ हो जाए, तो हमें क्या चाहिए होंगे? लिपिड्स एंड प्रोटीन्स. स्मूथ एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम synthesizes lipids and rough endoplasmic reticulum, because of ribosomes, synthesizes proteins. It also helps in intracellular and intercellular transport. I will again repeat that: intracellular and intercellular. Intracellular is within the cell and intercellular is between two cells. To those of you who have already seen my previous video lectures, you have to visit them again for more clarity. For those who have already seen it, I hope that it's as clear as a diamond now. Here's the next slide. It says endoplasm. Now here's the next slide, through which I'll try to make you memorize once again the endoplasmic reticulum. See, It's attached to the nucleus. SER, RER, everything is marked in the diagram clearly. Next, we come to Golgi apparatus. Camillo Golgi, who was an Italian doctor, is credited for the discovery of Golgi apparatus. Come on, mark a 3-star. That's a very important question in your school exams. It's a network of membrane-bound sacs, tubules and vesicles. And like most of the cell organelles, it is again absent in human, or better say mammalian RBCs. In plant cell, it is known as dictyosomes. The sacs in the Golgi apparatus are thin and curved, and they are known as cisternae, which we have already seen in the video. Its functions are, it forms lysosomes, which we are going to discuss in the next slide. Then it helps in storage, packaging and modification of various biochemicals in the cell. That's a very important function. And it is also involved in synthesis and repair of cell membrane, right? Next slide provides you a very beautiful picture of Golgi apparatus. Now can you see the cis phase, trans phase? Yes, and the cisternae, very important. Since you have already visualized all these things in the video, so I'm pre-assuming that you already know these things, and I am in a way revising it. Perfect? Come on children, the next slide discusses lysosomes, which are also called suicidal bags of the cell. Very, very frequent question, 3 stars. Come on, quickly mark 3 stars on this question. A very frequent question in your school exams. Yes, it contains various digestive enzymes that help in waste disposal and digestion of worn out cell organelles. When the cell organelles die, you need to get them off the cell, and this is done with the help of lysosomes. It also helps in destroying the foreign particles which may invade the cell. It's a very easy topic and I hope you understood it well. Come on. Now let us quickly move to mitochondria, which is a very important slide. Mitochondria is a sausage-shaped cell organelle which takes part in aerobic respiration. I repeat, it takes part in aerobic respiration called the Krebs cycle. You study about this in your higher classes in much more detail. It releases ATP. What is the full form of ATP? Come on, mark a 3-star. Quickly mark a 3-star. It is ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. That is the energy currency of the cell. They are also called the powerhouse of the cell. They are also called the powerhouse of the cell. Why? Because they release ATP, that is energy currency of the cell. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Very, very important. What is it? Adenosine triphosphate. Another very important point is they are semi-autonomous cell organelles. I repeat, they are semi-autonomous cell organelles. What is this? Semi-autonomous cell organelles? Semi-autonomous means half self-dependent. Why are they half self-dependent? Because they contain their own DNA and ribosomes. Come on, repeat after me. What do they contain? They contain their own DNA and ribosomes. Now children, there is a very interesting thing which I want to share. It is that previously in the ancient times, when life just arose on the earth, it is said that mitochondria and one more organelle, that is plastid, were organelles, were the separate independent cells. They were not the organelles, not the part of the cell, but they were independent cells. But as time passed by, they were incorporated in a cell and were considered as parts of cell, right? So now you know all the important things about mitochondria. Quickly give me a high five on the screen. How many of you understood it well? I hope all of you understood it very well, because we have already previously seen all this in the video and it was very clear. Now let's see, the next slide shows you very beautiful diagram of mitochondria. Sausage shaped cell organelle, very clear. Inner membrane, outer membrane, double membrane structure, clear? Yes. Mitochondrial DNA, you can see, can you see that? Mitochondrial DNA and ribosomes. Now you know why it is called semi-autonomous cell organelle, right? You can say ATP is there. What is the full form of ATP? Come on, yes, answer that. I've repeated it many times. It is adenosine triphosphate, which is also called the energy currency of the cell. Everyone, I hope you liked all the diagrams, visualizations and all the explanation, right? Come on, hit like on the screen now. Hit like. Even I want some ATP, children. Even I want some energy. From where will I get the energy? From your likes. So give me some ATP. Hit like on the screen now. Subscribe to the channel. So with this, we come to the end of today's session. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.